I was in the grocery store. Mom was by the counter paying for stuff. That's when it happened. My vision became all fuzzy and blurry. It's as if my eyes were tuning into a different channel. When the fuzziness slowly cleared away, I saw it. I was in that place. Can you describe this place to me, Michael? Yeah. It's almost like our world, but it's dark there. It's always night. And the wind, it feels like cold claws on my skin. There's this snow that falls from the clouds. Except I think it's too gray to be snow. It looks more like ash. And the moon too. It's red like blood. I felt the hairs on my arms raise as he described it. I tried to keep my face emotionless to hide my fear as I continued questioning. Were there any signs of life? Buildings, animals, people maybe? There were buildings. They looked just like the ones in our world, but they're all run down and destroyed. It looked like nothing could live in that wreckage. At least I thought there was nothing. What do you mean? Did you see something? I hurriedly said. I realized my voice sounded too eager. I needed to cool it. Yeah. It was in a tall skyscraper building a few blocks from the mall. The building was in ruins. It even leaned to one side like it was close to toppling. Through the cracks of a window, I could see the shape of kind of like this animal moving past the window of the very top floor. I thought it ran away, but then it came back to another window and it looked through a crack. At me. It kept its eyes on me, with 5 pairs of these red, glowing eyes like rubies. Then it moved away from the window and I could see it running so fast past each window. I don't know how, but I knew it was coming for me. That's when I ran. And ran. I didn't know where I was running to, just as far away from it as I could. Where'd you end up? I stopped by Jenkinson's bridge that crosses over the river and I hid underneath it. I closed my eyes wishing it would all go away. Then I felt something suddenly grab me. Nearly spoke me, but I saw it was just a police officer. I guess my vision did go away. Officer said I was in trouble for running into the road in the middle of traffic. It didn't feel like I had more questions. I slumped back in my seat, and I tried to mull over everything he'd said. I didn't notice I was clicking my pen profusely out of nervous habit until Michael's voice punctured my thoughts. Listen, Doc, I'm not making this up. It felt like I was really there. That thing is real. Every day it feels like it's coming for me. I saw Mike grip his seat rest so steadfast that his chair was trembling. Stop it, Mike, Mrs. Clark muttered through her clenched teeth. She held his arm tightly to try and stop his shaking. Can you imagine how embarrassing it looked when you ran away screaming from absolutely nothing in the store? She asked rhetorically. Her icy glare at Michael vanished when she moved her eyes to kindly gaze at me as she spoke. Look, Dr. Harley, Michael thinks he's really there in this place of his. I'm worried he's struggling to separate reality from his hallucinations. They aren't hallucinations. They're real, Mom, he bit back in a sharp voice. His eyes darted to me and burned through me as he pleaded, please help me, Doc. He really thought I could save him. The best thing I could honestly do was pretend I could. I know what will help, I said, forcing a confident smile. I rummaged in my cupboard to fetch something I had stowed away, saving for this day. I placed the object onto the table. I've had people like you come in before. These are specially designed glasses that correct for eyesight problems related to yours. They'll really help. Mike asked, surveying the glasses carefully. He doubted them. I tried to look straight in the eyes of Michael as I spoke without wavering. Trust me. You'll never see your visions again. I hoped he trusted me to wear them. Once they'd left, I sank into my chair, unable to move from the guilt that bore down heavily upon me. I tried to convince myself that I did everything I could to help. Really, I tried. Over the decades, a few people in this town had come for checkups with me, reporting the exact same problem. They had the same hallucination. They saw into the exact same place, and spotted that exact same creature with red eyes. Unfortunately, I failed to save all of them. They disappeared mysteriously without a trace after a few days of visiting me. Maybe they ran away, or maybe something took them. I realized their visions might have more truth to them than it seemed. At first it felt crazy for me to consider, but too many people reported the exact same vision for it to be a coincidence. Later I hypothesized that some people have the ability to tune into different realms or dimensions through a faulty set of eyes. Then they'd see that creature when they weren't supposed to. Once it saw them too, it would start hunting, and once it caught its victim, it would drag their body out of this realm and they'd disappear forever. 7 years ago I found a solution. It wasn't much, but I forged and designed those glasses from precious metal alloys and crystal glass. I knew with them his visions would stop at least. He'd still die. The beast would still come for him. But at least he wouldn't die with the inevitable, terrifying sight of his killer filling his eyes. At least he wouldn't see it coming, and he'd live blissfully, oblivious to his imminent death.